Celeb Secrets is hanging out with the cast of Happy Hazel. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good. All things considered, fantastic.
Right? I want to talk about the show because I watched the trailer and I feel like it's just so relevant to what, the world is today with influencers and creators.
Right.
So people maybe that haven't heard of it yet, can you just give us a rundown on what the show's about and what we can expect?
So, Happy Hazel is basically a short series about a social media influencer with millions of followers, and her tagline is to make everyone happy. But as you watch the show, it kind of shows you a behind the scenes look of her life, which isn't always happy. And it kind of shows the struggles with mental health when it comes to feeling a pressure to be somebody on social media. And so Hazel's kind of a larger scale of that. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
And would you say, as you guys are both public figures, you're actors, do you feel like there's any pressure to make, your fans or anybody happy? Can you relate to this at all?
Yeah, I would say so. I think like in general, once you become like a public figure, you're kind of indebted to your audience in some way, shape, or form. So it's always a balance act of like, what do I want versus like, what do other people probably want to see from me? So yeah, that's definitely a struggle.
I mean, even just as a person growing up in the world of social media, there's a pressure to, be somebody or look a certain way or present your life as a certain way. And I think everyone struggles with, comparing and wanting to be somebody you're not. And so, yeah, I think it's definitely relatable that way.
We know, Sabrina, obviously you play Hazel, and Zach, I know you're the love interest in the show. So maybe dive deep into your characters and what's going on with them with these episodes.
I feel like we're each other's kind of yin and yang, and then we kind of find, some truth in what our other characters believe. I mean, Hazel is obviously an influencer and very involved in that world, and Keith is like, completely detached from that, which is hard to find, especially in, 18 to 26-year-olds nowadays.
Yeah.
But as the show progresses, I think Keith kind of appreciates some things about social media, and I think Hazel finds it refreshing that Keith is very not in the world of social media, and it's a good contrast for sure.
Yeah, I think very well said. I think she's very attracted to Keith because he's very different from what her life is, which is very out there on social media. Everything she does, she posts about. And so, yeah, she just is very much, I want to be in everyone's life. I want to show everyone my life. And Keith is very much the opposite, which I think she actually finds, intriguing. And so she's very drawn to that.
And obviously, your characters do have chemistry. What was it like working, together? And do you maybe have any favorite memories from filming?
Honestly, it was so much fun. I mean, we spent pretty much every day together all day, and so we got along pretty off the bat. I mean, it was like one of my very first projects ever. So just like being able to go to set and be comfortable immediately with who you're supposed to be in a relationship was really, really nice. He made me feel very comfortable on set, and we just had a lot of fun, so it was awesome.
Wow, I'm flattered. Yeah, I felt the same way. Me and Sabrina just got along really well. As soon as I got on set, we actually had a dinner before the first time we started filming and a rehearsal. But at the dinner, I could just tell there wasn't a bad bone in Sabrina's body. And I mean that with all sincerity. And then I think a specific moment was, there was one day where we were pretty much fighting the clock and the sun was rising. We were filming at this fast food restaurant, and it just felt like a mad dash, and it was a really complicated scene, and we managed to pull it off, and that was probably like my favorite memory with us as like a duo.
And would you say that's your favorite scene that you guys filmed, or is there something else that you really enjoyed filming?
Me personally, there's a fight scene we have in the car together, and it's all one take, and it was one of those scenes where as an actor, you're fully immersed in it and you kind of forget you're doing a scene and you're just talking to someone. And like, that's what you live for, those moments. We just kind of black out, and it was like one of those scenes.
It's funny because it's the only one we're really arguing in, and so all the other ones are very like lovey and playful and flirty, and this was like our first like kind of real arguing scene, and for some reason that's the one that we really did.
You know, like I said earlier, this is just so relevant with everything, you know, going on with kids right now, because a lot of kids, you know, they want to become creators and they want this fame, but then, you know, this kind of gives it an inside look of what it's really like. So what would you say, like, you would want kids to take away from watching the show?
Well, I think especially now it's super relevant, and I've experienced this where, you know, our ability to socialize is so hindered right now with Corona, and we're having to, at least I know I'm trying to fill that void with social media, and it just doesn't hit the same.
Yeah.
And like, I would tell, you know, younger people, like, it's great to have a lot of friends, but like, making sure you keep face-to-face interactions at your first and foremost priority is like really important, because it's not the same, you know, sending a meme compared to like hugging your friend and talking. Mm-hmm. So that would be probably my main takeaway.
I mean, I think for sure, like, it's a balance, and you'll see with Hazel, she struggles finding that balance of, you know, what she lets people see and her real life. And I think you have to be able to find that balance with yourself of what you feel comfortable sharing for the world and what you want to keep to yourself, but also making sure who you show is a true version of who you are. And I think Hazel struggles with that. I think she kind of feels a pressure to be somebody that she may not always be. And so it's really cool, this series, how you kind of see her evolve to kind of shifting that mentality. So I would say I hope people take away that they can realize, you know, take away the pressure of trying to be somebody or not, or comparing yourself to somebody or not, and be you and be comfortable in that. And if you want to be a creator, or if you want to be, you know, famous in this world, make sure it's by being who you are and not trying to be somebody or not.
We are Celeb Secrets. I want to know if maybe you have any behind the scenes secrets from filming that we wouldn't know when we watch the show.
Ooh, do we? What secrets do we have? I'm an open book, so I drink a lot of water on set.
Yeah, and it's funny because it actually made it into one of the scenes, and it wasn't in the script, but he always had a water bottle hidden somewhere on set. Like, not even kidding. Like, you can't find it because the editing team's so good at editing those things out, but they are always like hidden right next, like behind a pillow, behind a book, behind a table. But he would always have to go to the bathroom like every 15 minutes.
I went to the bathroom a lot.
And then also, I think my first day on set was our first kiss.
It was.
Wow.
And it was my very first on-screen kiss ever.
Wow.
And so I was very nervous, but Zach was having a great day, and was very, very open with me about what he was going through that day. I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing those things.
Oh, I had eaten some food that was disagreeing with my stomach, so I was having to make a lot of trips back and forth.
We're about
to
film this scene, and I'm like, you're just telling me about your experience in the restroom, and I'm trying to get in the mood of, I'm about to kiss you, sir. Yeah. So let's try to put those things around.
Like I said, open book.
Later. But no, it was always a laugh on set, for sure.
Oh my gosh, I love that. See, now I would have never known that watching the show.
Are you glad you know that fact? I'm glad we were able to share that tidbit.
But
those are the juicy celebrity secrets everyone wants to know.
Oh yeah.